It's here. It's here. It's here.
I've been waiting all year and it's here.
That's right, everybody. Slip on your silk under britches and strap on your roller skates. We're going to Sonic. Silk Sonic, that is. I don't even think they wear roller skates at Sonic anymore, so that metaphor probably doesn't work. But still, we continue. The Anderson.Paak Bruno Mars collab album is finally here. And oh lordy, are we ready to talk about it. I am hydrated. I took my vitamins today. What does that have to do with this album? Absolutely nothing. I just want you to know that I am adult enough to remember to hydrate myself and take my vitamins. But just because I am a married adult doesn't mean that I am a square. I'll have you know I had nachos and corn nuts for lunch today. So I may be a responsible adult, but I'm also here to party. Don't tell my wife that I had nachos and corn nuts for lunch today. She'll worry about me. So let's break this down. An Evening with Silk Sonic is a 60s and 70s theme funk, R&B, disco, soul infused album that is sure to be abused by radio stations for the next several years. Getting right into it, Silk Sonic Intro is the first track. This is one of the few album intros that I find actually has re-listen value. It's a mandatory part of the experience. From the jump, it tells you, oh yeah, we're here to party, this is gonna be groovy. As soon as I start this album, I feel like I'm walking into a magical dreamland. Anderson and Bruno are the candy. Bootsy Collins is Willy Wonka, and he takes my hand and he's leading me into a chocolate and gumdrop coated magical merry dreamland paradise. And this intro flows oh so smoothly into the first single of the album, Leave the Door Open. I have heard this track more times than I have seen my own downstairs.
But I am still smitten by it.
This is like rock solid songwriting at its finest, with about the catchiest chorus you could ask for. I don't really need to say much about this song. It's flat out a bop, and everybody knows it. You know it, I know it. Don't even try to be that guy. You know it. We know it's a hit. Just,
okay.
Bruno, Anderson, I will leave the door open for you in perpetuity. And you know, when artists start releasing all these fire hit singles, it kind of makes you worry, like,
don't give all the good stuff away and then leave me with dookie stains for the rest of the album.
When you see this happen, it's usually not like eating a bag of Kick of Lime chips, where the leftover crumbs at the bottom are actually the best part, because that's where all the seasoning is. It's usually more like watching an action movie trailer, where they put literally all the action and plot line in the actual trailer, and you're like, I've basically seen the movie already. Well, this album is not that. The singles slapped, but the songs they left us with,
Kick of Lime seasoning.
Fly As Me somehow follows Leave the Door Open, and it stands its ground. Anderson.Paak takes the reins for most of this song, then Bruno throws some of his seasoning on. It's bouncy, it's groovy, the chorus is super catchy, it holds up. And going into the next song, After Last Night dials the mood back. I'm thinking
chocolate-covered strawberries, silk sheets, a Hugh Hefner robe, one of those round beds that vibrate.
I mean, we've got smooth and sexy vocal harmonies, horns, synthesizers, Thundercat vibing on the bass guitar. It's a bedroom anthem, but not like Marvin Gaye Let's Get It On bedroom anthem. Like, you're in the bedroom, but there's also like a disco ball and you've got roller skates on. I'm very curious about the logistics of wearing roller skates in the bedroom, but we continue. Don't get too comfortable with those roller skates and that comfy robe on. Wipe the whipped cream off your goods and tie up that robe, because we're about to go smoking out the window, baby. This is a song that makes me like want to put on a pair of rose-colored glasses, get in a convertible, and just drive down Hollywood Boulevard at night. Okay, maybe not Hollywood Boulevard, maybe something a little nicer that smells less like tourists in urine, but you get the picture. The vibes coming off of this song are immaculate. Then going into another low and slow jam is Put On a Smile. I just want to add that they are really, really amazing at making slow, moody jams that are actually exciting. Some albums, the slow stuff, you always end up wanting to skip because it's kind of boring, but this whole album is so dynamic. Even the slow, moody stuff, the sexy stuff, it's all exciting. This one gets really low and vibey, but it really builds hard into the chorus and changes up the feel. Then it sticks the landing and gets real big for the last quarter of the song. I hope the industry is taking notes, because it's... Then we crank the mood up to 11, go to the casino, and hit 777. We got drums, we got horns, we got organ, we got guitar, dope bass, tight harmonies, a guy with a tambourine.
I've got a mess in my pants.
This song is the perfect mood lift at the perfect time of this album. It feels totally different from its neighboring tracks, but it fits in with the vibe perfectly. I really dig the structure of this song. It has layers. There's not a dull moment. There's always something to focus on. And that's something that Bruno Mars in general general is really good at. If you listen to a lot of his music, you wonder why they're hits. Well, you can deconstruct almost any song, like on 24 Karat Magic, for instance. And there is never a dull moment. When there's downtime, there's some funky instrument happening over here, and then some funky melody over here. Bruno Mars knows how to make hits. Hey, sorry for the interruption. I just want to remind you to hit the like button if you're enjoying the video. It costs you nothing, it takes you no time, it really helps me out. And also, if you're enjoying it a lot, why don't you hit the subscribe button? Anyway, back to the video. Then we're leaving the slot machines, and don't forget to strap back on those roller skates again, except we're not going back into the bedroom. We're going to the skating rink. Skate was another hit single. It's this disco-infused jam that makes me feel some type of way. The strings, man. The strings. And what is that, a xylophone? I feel like at this point, Silk Sonic is somehow more 70s than the actual 1970s. I want to throw on a leisure suit and go dancing. Seriously though, what happened to this sound? Like strings, horns, the whole thing. Like we should have never went away from this type of music. I am so.
As you can tell, I'm pretty excited about this album.
Then the last song of the album is Blast Off, which takes us out on this dreamy reverb-drenched cloud. Anderson puts his foot in this one. Like his vocals are really hitting the spot for me from the jump for some reason. This song just has great dynamics built into it. It takes you real low, and then it builds you up and gets huge and carries you away with tight harmonies, strings, pounding piano. I am honestly I'm struggling to summarize this album if I'm being honest. I normally try to break down songs intricately, but this is just not one of those albums. This is gonna be like my shortest review yet because I'm running off pure adrenaline and love.
I feel like my soul took a Viagra.
Let's get into my final summary and my official rating. So this is just one of those albums where as much as I want to get technical, it just doesn't feel right to do that. Sometimes you just have to fly by the seat of your pants and let the emotion carry you. Music is such a personal, emotional experience, and even though the technical mechanics in theory of this album are as rock solid as it gets, sometimes it just feels wrong to try and break an album down into bullet points and technical aspects. But instead, I'm just gonna tell you that this album, I felt it in my soul. I knew as soon as I listened to it,
oh, I love this. I love everything about this.
That feeling that music gives you sometimes, it's so magical and it's so personal. And when you feel it, you don't really need to explain or validate why. Just love it and lean into it. And that's how I feel about this album. I just love it. I just do. The songwriting is phenomenal. The production is perfect. The vocals are wonderful. The mixing and mastering, it sounds exactly how I would want it to sound. I don't have any complaints, honestly. It's no secret to people that know me, I'm very drawn by that 60s and 70s R&B soul type of sound. Like old Motown era artists, and that sound like really shaped a large part of who I am as a human being. And this album gives me a taste of that. But then it adds some huge funk and disco inspiration thrown on top of it to make it even better. So this album really, it feels like I'm walking into a warm, candlelit home filled with the smell of fresh baked cookies after I've been outside in the cold for too long. It's natural, it's comforting. And that's exactly why that I give this album my first A+. The only complaint I have is that it isn't twice as long as it is. This ain't your typical like 4, 5, 6 chord pop radio hit album. Like there is genuinely amazing songwriting in this. You can tell they're very inspired. I would genuinely not be surprised to see this album sweep the Grammys next year. This is an instant classic. I just know it. I have that feeling when I listen to it. Mark my words, 30 years from now, your hipster granddaughter is gonna be digging into this album. I'm just beside myself on this one. I just love music so much, I could cry. You know, sometimes I go a long time without having this feeling, and this gave me that feeling. So anyway, you're probably tired of listening to me gush. Comment and tell me what you think of this project. I know I always say music is a subjective and personal experience, and none of us are right or wrong, but let the record show that if you don't like this album, I think that you are flat out wrong. In fact, you should probably be banished to a far, far away land somewhere that has no soap or water or napkins to clean yourself up with,
But everything is coated in honey, so you're just perpetually sticky.
In all seriousness though, how do you feel about this project? What's your favorite track? What would you rate it? You want to hear more projects from Silk Sonic? I know I do. Leave a comment and let me know. Share this with a friend who you think might enjoy it, and please sub if you want to see more. Thank you for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this review half as much as I enjoyed listening to this album. I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Have an amazing day.